This is video number 3 for the Unreal Editor level that I'm showing off. I haven't done a video for 11 months because basically I sold my flat, and I bought a house and refurbished it. So I didn't have dual monitor for 6 months of that, and basically I haven't done any videos for a year now. So getting back into it though. Um, um, so this, if you can remember, is the level that I built um, with no Montecola visual effects. So what we're looking at first, it was a 10-week project or a 9-week project, and in week 2 we built the BSP geometry, and it was looking good and ready to be textured and dressed with polygon meshes. So I'll just go over here and bring up week 2. Save changes now. Homework week 2 first pass. You remember from the last video, this is we actually in fact, just to give a summary of the previous 2 videos. First of all, we looked at what the editor could do, you know, models, blocking volumes, nav meshes, lights, weapons, cache, kismet, and then we looked at how to design floor plans and how to do the BSP construction for the level, and that's what this is. So we've actually started building out the BSP geometry. If you're watching this, you won't realise that a year has passed by since I created the last video, but yeah, it has. In this lesson I want to talk about texturing these walls and static meshes. So it's literally how to apply materials and how to bring polygon meshes or objects into the scene to dress it. And we'll start with texturing. So if I go up here, in fact, in week 3 of the project, it was still a work in progress with textures. The BSP geometry hadn't been finalised, and the BSP was getting more final in week 4, and then in week 5 I added a sky map, which was literally just a texture for the roof, and that's when I started to add polygon models to the scene, and then obviously after 9 weeks of tinkering, there was a lot of other stuff. Custom props, lighting, visual scripting with Kismet and making matinee sequences, decals and effects, all things that you have to think about, and bots and bringing bots in and all that sort of thing. Actually, you know, I've had this level running inside the PlayStation 3. Actually imported it into the PS3 and played it on the console. So I've never done level design professionally, but being able to see your own work running on a console is pretty fun. So we'll go over to texturing now, and what we need to do is bring up the generic browser, which you do by using the second mouse button and go sync generic browser. And then what we're looking for here, first of all we'll go to HU, just turn that off for now and go show all, and HU underscore light floor 2, HU underscore floor 2 there. What we want to bring up now is material, if we can. There it is. And it's the one with the 6 textures, this one. So when you select it, it starts filling stuff in. That's the floor. Or what you can do is, this bit of geometry needs filling in, so just second mouse, and then apply material floor like that. You can actually get the floor textures to line up, which I think you just look at alignment. You know what, I don't know how to do the alignment. But if you look in this file, in fact I've changed everything on the ground, so it's all different now, but the final project was all different, but the final pass or whatever, but I know that you can align them. I haven't used the engine for a lot of years, but I'm just kind of showing the work that I did. Anyway, so another one might be, let's say you select that wall there and go HU walls, this one here, and bring up the one with 6 textures. So just start applying that like that. Just right click, apply material, second mouse, sorry, where is it? Apply material. And what I also wanted to show is, if you deselect apply material and just have a look at a couple of these, I'll actually enlarge it in a sec. HU walls, HU underscore walls, this one. So that's all of them, and when I bring this up, you can see the different, let's just wait a sec. So you can select by resource type, like material or static mesh, or you can show all resources, and selecting material shows just the material nodes by showing all resource types. So there's all the different kinds of render passes that go into one texture, or shader or whatever. Displacement and bump maps are rendered out of a sculpting packages like ZBrush or Mudbox. That's these ones here that are kind of blue with fluorescent purple. Those are the bump maps. So if you've ever seen ZBrush or Mudbox, you're actually doing the sculpting there, and you're rendering out textures that are brought into the engine here and all hooked up to one material. And other examples of what might be called a color or beauty pass rendered out of texture packages like Photoshop and body paint. So that's like stuff like this one here, this one, and I think that's actually a picture, isn't it? Yeah, you can take photos and use them to build your different textures that you bring in to assign to a material node. and eventually what you end up is something like this, a material, and then you can start applying it to your BSP geometry. And it's the same principle with static meshes, polygon objects that you bring in. So let's have a look at another one. HU underscore base. This one here, and we'll bring up material again. And I think that's a good example of what you might use on a roof, like a concrete roof. So just go put that one there, and select that and put that one there, just to show you the difference. Different materials, and obviously anytime you want to just have a run around and see what it's like to play, just go build all and then play in editor, and if I run over to the newly textured bit, you can see the textures have started to be brought in. I don't know what I did there. You can see that those textures that I just applied are already in. But I suppose, you know, it's a long process to actually search through the generic browser and find everything you need for something like this. And you know, when you're actually working for a game development studio, you've got a large art team, and that because every asset has to be newly created by the art team, so there's lots of design meetings and art meetings where you're actually talking about how you want the level to look. And so for somebody like me who just gets to be able to basically select from a palette of different, or a generic browser full of all these different assets, it's pretty cool. But those guys actually build it from the ground up, bit by bit. And it takes thousands of hours, hundreds of people working on a large team over many months or years to create something like that. So I don't know much about creating materials for Unreal Engine, because I only ever used what assets were included in the installer by Epic Games. I would like to get into modeling and shading for Unreal Engine more. Set dressing is boring compared to character and creature development for Unreal Engine, where you're actually rigging and animating characters and bringing those into the engine. That's the super interesting stuff. You know, it might be boring to sort of model and shade, let's say a door for an avatar, but if you're actually involved in creating one of the lead characters, like the Na'vi or whatever, for their movie, then that's going to be super interesting. So different people with different jobs, all ultra important for creating the final product. But so next we'll look at polygon objects. Let's go over to I think this corner here is a good little space to bring some objects in. Let's just Now I'm actually going to turn off some of these. Let's see, what was it called? Blocking volumes, I seem to remember that was one of it. No, I'm trying to turn off all these different things, like lines and stuff. I can start by turning the navigation points off. Volumes can come off as well, and we'll turn the lights off. Anybody see that? Anyway, doesn't really matter too much really. If we go there, you can barely see anything else. So it's a similar thing with adding a material. You search through the generic browser finding different static meshes, then you just go to the second mouse button, add actor, add static mesh. So if I bring up the generic browser now just by using the second mouse button, and I go down to HU light, so let's just turn all that off, turn that on. HU light, it's light 3, yeah, light 3, and we want, I think we just want the static mesh this time. That's this thing, so select it, and then let's just go second mouse button, add actor, and then add static mesh like that. Now that's quite big, but I think what we'll do is we'll add a few objects to the scene, and then we'll build all and have a look at the runtime engine version of well, what it looks like in game. So obviously I think I've already showed the tools. It's spacebar to tab between the different that's move, rotate and scale. So over to move, you can move these about. Let's just bring in another object. Generic browser, walls brick, HU walls brick, this one, and we'll bring that one in, add that to static mesh. So that looks like LT decor, that's this one. Select that and go second mouse, add static mesh, bring that up. That's just a crate, and we'll go HU decor pipes, this one. I think this one looks kind of interesting. Same thing again, second mouse, add static mesh. Move that there. I think if you press the home button, it centers everything up for you. LT doors, let's see, LT doors, this one, we'll bring this one in, add second mouse, add that to add static mesh. Now just press home on that, home, rotate around, probably, it's a big door, but you could scale it down if you wanted, and you can move it as well. let's just go there, home. And then last of all, HU Deco. I don't know who named these and who, what HU means or anything, but there's some objects in here. This big crate's a pretty good one, but it's a bit big, so I'll probably just add this barrier. Second mouse, add that to add static mesh. Right. So I think there's enough objects there, and obviously if you look at each one of these, it's going to take the art department many hours to model and shade this geometry, and then a designer just comes in, pops it into a scene, and you're immediately able to use it in game. So if I go build all geometry, build all, which is lighting, geometry, everything, just wait a second for that to build out, and then we'll go play in editor, and we'll actually go and have a look at those things that we brought in. Don't know how long this will take. You can see the different, the top view there. It's the top, side, front, and perspective. Encoding light maps. Right, just close that, go play in the editor. See, those objects are already in there. That's the matinee sequence I was talking about. So we can go up. These doors have a collision geometry parented to them, so you can't run through the polygon objects themselves. So that's all of them: the crate, the pipes, the door, this barrier, the light, and the brick built arch, or whatever that is. And that's how you do it, really. If I run around, you can see the materials that I use for the different doors, but should try not to do that. I think it ruins the video. But you can see the materials that I've used for a lot of the surfaces are BSP geometry in the scene. Yeah, we're gonna get around to talking about lights, stuff like that. You know, if you're actually modelling weapons, I mean, look, I'll go and get a decent weapon and fire it. I love this thing. Now, if you just watch me fire this. There's actually guys that work in game studios that build and animate weapons. So one of the main features of a video game is its characters, its weapons, and its vehicles. So this is the Goliath tank. Weapons are pretty cool, and characters are awesome too. But the simplest stuff is just like, how do you model and shade most of the sort of buildings and props in a level or a scene. That's what we've been talking about today. So back over here. It's a fun process to go through. Building a level like this probably took me about 100 hours to build this level from blank canvas to completed project, and it's not of a quality that would go into a production level video game, but I'm only just one man, so they've got a huge team of people working on it, and like I say, it does work really well. I've took it over to the PS3 and run it on the console, and I think it's a good thing to add to your resume. But next lesson, next few lessons, there's probably not going to be many for showing off this project, but we might talk about how to build custom props. So by custom props, I just mean these things like the barrier, the door, the pipe. I probably won't say much about it because you have to do that in Maya and use art packages like ZBrush, Photoshop, and other stuff for generating all the pixel shading data that goes into the static mesh or the object, the polygon object. Yeah, so you've got to build the geometry for it in Maya or ZBrush or Mudbox and shade it using Photoshop and create all these textures for it. That's custom props. We might say more about that. We'll talk about lighting, bringing the lights into the scene, visual scripting with Kismet. So you might see that this bit when I go play in editor to kick off the level. This is the matinee sequence, like a camera fly through. Probably take a look at how the Kismet system was used, and there's a node called matinee that was used to do the camera fly through. And we might mention decals and effects as well. But that's about it. 28 minutes into the video. Thanks for listening. Bye.